What up, cappers, gamblers, punters, hustlers, low baggers? It is Thursday morning, May 30th, the morning of the biggest game in the Great White North since 1993. That's how shitty our sports teams have been up in Canada. That it's been since 1993 that we've had a game this giant going up against the defending champions of the NBA. Oh, man. I just can't imagine anything more exciting for us. We have been watching. We have hundreds of people outside the Warriors Hotel watching their every move. And we're extremely, extremely pumped. I've been wrong about the market, and I'm still holding off. I'm still expecting money to come in on the Warriors. It's not happening. 1.5s are on the board now. Mine is 1.5s for the Raptors. So I'm waiting for the public to start hammering Golden State, and I made a mistake waiting so long. Should have jumped on it immediately. But to say that we're pumped is an understatement. Oh my God, I can't wait. I can't wait. I can't wait. 24 years it took to get to the NBA Finals, and we're here. We're finally here. Forget Rafa Rajo. Forget the bums of yesteryear. Kawhi brought us to the promised land. Kyle Lowry is my favorite player in the world. And we're in the promised land. The NBA Finals against the Golden State Warriors. Dreams do come true. What up to everybody in the chat? We got Jansen Bonson in the house, says who's got total leans for the Raptors-Warriors game. And right underneath it, Dennis Garcia, our guy, Dennis Garcia, is on the under. And so is Astute Chaos. Jansen Bonson has. We got Walla Dos, says glad I only tailed that plus a half for his period. Nate the Juice, Jimmy. Yeah, that was a push. Ended up being a push for me, which is fine. It's a strange game. What a series this is going to be. Blues take care of business in game 2. We're going to talk about that a lot more, especially tomorrow. Because we're going to want to have plays for game 2 ready to go. We got Demetrius Miller in the house, and I have Astute Chaos has already dropped a nice plus 700 parlay. I'd like to go over that. Also celebrate Matt Randall's taint play of the day cashes again. Is this guy not spectacular? Is this guy not? This guy has brought new meaning to the word taint. Now that's on the tip of everybody's tongue. What's taint? Taint play, taint play, taint play. Red Girl in the house. Red Girl, we're coming to you. We're coming to Miami, Red Girl, to party with Red Girl. God, I can't wait to hang out with Red Girl. All right, we got Jason Stasher in the house. Jason Stasher in the house. Sorry, I flew past a bunch of comments. Jose Contreras, Jorge, don't play. Yo-Yo Street, play today, Raps. Greg Mattson in the house. Jorge, don't play, says, call me contrarian. I'm on the Raps to win in 6 at plus 1,200 and in 7 at plus 525. Yes, I think the 6 is difficult just because it's in Oakland. I think the Raps might have a better chance of winning in 5. But I love it. I love it, Jorge. Don't play. We got Greg Matt saying aloha from Kauai. Love it. Love it. What up, Greg Mattson in the house? Jansen says Toronto is buzzing today. Lineups all ready for Jurassic Park. Woo! Alex Bennett in the house. Vaughn Burgess. St. Louis Moneyline Cash. Great bet. There he is, Maxwell Smart. Oh, man, do I love Maxwell Smart. Maxwell Smart joining us in the house. My guy, Max. Bookie Lover Q, Dom Ricci, Viper NB. Greg Mattson says, everyone is a Warriors hater. It's amusing and helping the line keep moving from all the Canadians betting their home team. I think that money's got to come back on the Warriors. And I don't know. I just feel like money's got to come back in on the Warriors. And if you're a Warriors fan, you want the hate. You're in your 5th straight NBA Finals. Could win your 4th NBA championship. I mean, come on. The hate feels good. People, if they hate you, they care about you. You know? Viper NB, Underdog, Rockstar, Dav, Fenn. Greg Matt says Raptors will not win the finals. Jesus, not sure how you would put your money on the Raptors. And then right underneath that, Brandon Lugo says Raptors in 7. Jose Contreras says the taint, baby. The taint. Tomo should be the best finals matchup in 3 to 4 years. I agree. It should be the best finals matchup since the Cavs won. Oh, Underdog says there was a good piece on the Toronto Superfan. Yes, I read a bunch of stuff on him. A great guy, another ambassador for the team, a beloved guy up in Canada. Jordan Kane already lines outside Jurassic Park. There's That Fire TV, says, I'm logged in from watching the show. I won a 2-team parlay, Rays, Dodgers, money line. Yes, you did. And Russell Gordy got me off of the Rays yesterday. It's so funny. I was talking about Gin Rummy and Russell Gordy last night on the Sports Cake. And these guys, they help. They help. They just help. They help so much. And there, Maxwell Stark says, Nav, the super fan, is a true fan. Yeah, we love Nav. All right, Jonathan Succi ready to go. Everybody ready to go. We got afternoon games. Carlos Perot is cheesy balls. We're going to be partying with Carlos Perot in Miami. There is King Rail says, let's go Raptors, baby. Feel like the world against us Canadians. OVO Rail. I love it, King. I love it, King. You know, today's late show is going to be great because we're going to have King Rail give us his, and it's going to be very different from the next. We're going to have King Rail give us his idea and his angle on the game, his action on the game. Right after, we're going to have Ski Profit give us his angle and action on the game. And they're very different. And I can't wait to have it. So I'm going to have them back to back. So I'm not going to have them at the same time because I love how different their breakdowns are going to be. So we'll see both sides of the coin on the late show. Steve Cordero says, Kyle Lowry, yes. Yes. Kyle Lowry is my favorite player in the NBA. I love him dearly. I love him with all my heart. I love him. When he takes charges, I lose my shit. God, I love him. All right, Astute Chaos Tease. Astute Chaos says, Viper, I'm scared of the Rangers myself. Our guy Captain Sassana is on the Royals. I asked him why he was on the Royals. I needed to hear more information. He broke it down for me. Very interesting stuff. I'm going to break it all down with you guys. All right, Gregory Long, 13-1, game 1 unders. That is true. That is true. All right, Mally Mal. Russell Gordy does say, roll up, Warriors, win game 1, calm down, Canada. The stage is too big. I love it, Russell Gordy. I love it. And thank you for getting me off the Tampa Bay Rays yesterday, Russell. Thank you, my friend. James Spina says, you got to call Jimmy. No, I don't. I've just had pneumonia for 5 months. But no, I'm good to go. Jansen says there's, okay, Elliot V. Joe and Nisi. Raul Wando says, Homer bet Warriors +2. At least you're getting +2. Greg Madsen says, any thanks to everyone in here. I love the show. All in good fun. Love the SBR community and fun. Yeah, it's okay to be on the other side. It's okay to do that. Daffin says, this is a lot. I'm not a Warriors fan. Kind of hate them. But Warriors will win this in less than 6. Maybe 6 if they lose tonight. All right. And Tom Marino says, Ski, I can't believe how... Is Ski Profit in the chat too? I missed that. Ski says, Ski, I can't believe how disrespectful people are to Curry. This guy is the only unanimous MVP in 30 years. People act like he's just a shooter. Oh, man, this is exciting. Barham Dog Jenkins, Raptors in 7. And there we go. There's a Taint play of the day. Matt Randall's Taint play of the day. Ben Sports pick 7 has Warriors in 6. You know, to be honest with you, to me, I think that is the most likely outcome. I'm not going to bet it. I don't want it to happen. I think the most likely outcome is the Warriors win the series in Oakland in 6 games. A low Eastside roll-on, Raps night, -1.5 on the under to 13.5. Astute Chaos says, Jimmy, I removed St. Louis, Philadelphia, first 5 over 6 with Milwaukee team total over 2 to make the parlay +604. Thank you for letting me know. Thank you for letting me know. And King Rail says, Cali in Vegas is fading the world. Raptors win the title. There's Ski Profit in the house. Oh, Ron Crawford, spreadsheet, Texas, Boston, Dodgers. That makes a ton of sense to me. I'll copy and paste that. That makes a ton of sense to me, but when I hear guys like Cap and Sassana on the Royals, it gives me fear. A lot of fear. A lot of fear. Ben Sports 24/7 says Golden State will take game 1. Curry already starting, talking about how game 1 away is crucial for them in the series. Yes, I read about that as well. And Ski Profit is Raptors in 5. Sheesh. Guess Warriors are scrubs. There's Paco Healy in action representing San Diego. Luke DM says Kawhi ended the Heat era after they won previous 2 championships, and he will do the same to the Warriors season. I love all this stuff. All these guys believing in the Warriors. Man, it puts a big smile on my face. Bricker Overland says everyone loves Taint on the tip of their tongue. Oh, this is great. Oh, man. I just don't remember being so excited about a game. I'm just so excited. And I just hope that the Warriors don't wipe the smile off my face immediately. Okay, let's get to work. So let's start with this Raptors game. We've already sort of talked about it, with what everybody's on, who everybody's on. Raptors won both meetings with the Warriors during the regular season. Who cares? Regular season, totally different. I get it. But that second game when KD went for 51 and Kawhi went for like 36 or 38, was the best game of the regular season, the most exciting game of the regular season for the Raptors. And I know that regular season. DeMarcus Cousins, I hope we see him in there. I hope we see him there slowly jogging up the court. And I guess the Warriors probably hope they see him in there as well. He'll get better as the series goes on. They say he's totally pain-free if he plays game one. I bet he only plays 6 or 7 minutes. Durant ruled out for game one. He came to Toronto early. I expect him to be there in game two. We will see. There is Grim Reaper now says, what up, Jimmy, all the way from Toronto to Costa Rica. Shout out to Grim Reaper now. Greg Matthews says, Warriors in 5 in my opinion, but game 6 at home would be nice considering last two were clinched on the road, but they will take a win whatever it is. NBA is brutal. Gotta appreciate the talent these days. Okay. Tom Marino's on the first quarter under at 55. Says, I've had success all playoffs betting first quarter unders with teams off of big layoffs like Golden State Warriors has had here. That is a great look. And Tomer, that will be a copy and paste. And Demetrius Miller says, KD won't play in the series. Wow, that's a very interesting take. And it's possible. I mean, it's a calf injury. It is a calf injury. Jansen Bond saying OG Anunoby close to returning. Quadre Dover on Klay Thompson foul line attempts over. What is that number? I'd be very, very interested to hear what that number is. Raul Portwando adding another under. Raul Portwando adding another under. Warriors under 109 to his under 215. So Warriors under 109. That's first half, though, not team total. First half. Wow. Wow. And Russell Gordon says, the hype is working for Vegas. Spoke to the head of Westgate. Canada is pounding the Raptors. Ha. Golden State wins easy. Calm down. Oh, I love it. I love it. Oh, man. I love it. I love it. I love it. Okay. So, oh, man. This is so exciting. So, the Warriors have done everything. There's not a situation they haven't been in and tackled. And starting the NBA Finals on the road, we just go back to the Houston series last year. They split 1-1 and won that series in 7 games. The Raptors as well being very good at dealing with adversity all playoffs long. They faced a series deficit in each round with no fear. And Grim Reaper says Golden State doesn't win easy. No, they'd be the favorite in game 1 if they were going to win easy, I think. But we'll see. Luke DM says it's possible that KD has played his last game as a Warrior. Jordan Kane says Toronto 8-2 with Capers officiating, 2-0 in the playoffs. Home teams are 42-25 with Capers officiating. Oh, that's very interesting. That is extremely interesting. Ski Prop says if you double Curry, Draymond, playmaker, we just saw that. Doug Anderson on Draymond, points, rebounds, assists, over. An interesting look is, and we talked about that on King's Court yesterday, was possibly taking the Draymond Green points under at 12.5. But here is a spot that I'm very close to hammering, and let's see if I need to take it now. I feel like Danny Green's importance in this series will be magnified, especially going up against a great shooting team. We need some great shooters ourselves. Let's go into this spot here quickly and just quickly. I know we've got afternoon games that we have to cap, and Babano joining us in 26 minutes. I just want to make sure that this, yeah, wow. Look at that. Danny Green points over 6.5, and it's heavily juiced to the under. 6.5 points for Danny Green. I find that, and Yo-Yo Street says, yes, Jimmy, I have Danny Green as well. Wow. Shout out to my guy Yo-Yo Street, who I'll be rolling with in Toronto, and the Grim Reaper. All my guys, we're going to get together in Toronto. Wow, this is just so exciting, man. This is just so exciting. Oh, man. So exciting. So, and Van Fleet, Jansen talking about 8.5 points. Yeah, I mean, I get it. But to me, Danny Green is so vital in this series. He's so vital. And to get 6.5 points game 1 just seems like something I should jump on. Kyle Lowry at 15.5 points. I would prefer his 26.5 points, rebounds, and assists. But I do want to see he's going to have a much more difficult time defensively than he had last series. He's going to focus on the defense and taking charges and stuff like that. So I'm a little concerned about taking the over 26.5 there. Jose Villegas says, nice play on the Blues, Jimmy. Can they win the cup? Yes. Do I think they will? I don't. I think the Bruins will win the Cup. And those of you guys who like the Bruins, now is probably the time to take them if you haven't taken them earlier. Now, I took them to win the Stanley Cup at plus 190 on the show, but didn't bet it, which was a mistake. And wow, look, the Bruins are still minus 135 to win the series. So really maybe not getting that much more value there. Wow, this is so exciting. Kevin Pine says, never threw more than 500 on a game. Tonight is the night. Raptors for the win. Kevin Pine. Oh, man. Grim Reaper says, yo, for sure, Jimmy, I've been watching for years. Would be a dream to buy you a drink, my brother. Oh, you buy me a drink, and then I buy you one right after, man. We go round for round. Oh, yeah, we're going to all hook up. We're going to all hook up in Toronto over the MLB All-Star break. Get Maxwell Smart out there. Hopefully, it'd be a dream if last time we did the big hookup there. That's where I got to hang with Jansen Bonds and so many guys that I just loved every second of it. Get Al Mack out there. Get all the boys back together. But last year, when we did it, we got to hang out with Gabe Morency, who's in New York right now. So let's see maybe if Gabe's home for a vacation or something. We'd love to see Gabe. Carlos Pro says Stanley Cup goes 7. Okay, we've got to get to work. Quadre Dover says Danny Green over is a lock. Quadre, why do you think that it's being juiced to the under so much? Everybody, I guess, expecting. I would love to hear what you guys think about that. That's the first prop that I'm very close to making a move on. 6.5 at minus 110. I'm shocked that it's to the under, and I guess they're expecting Terrence Ross to get more of the minutes. Oh, Jansen, what a guy. Jansen, what a guy. Man, this is so exciting. This is so exciting. Let's get to baseball. Join us in the afternoon show. Join us in the afternoon show when we're going to have King Rail give us his angle. Ski Prophet give us his. There is Rod Zawacki. Yes, 10-unit bet on the Blues. I was thinking about you last night, Rod. And there's Dave Allais. I'm on Raptors minus 115. And one of the wise guys said Raptors win by plus 10. Wow. And there's Die Hard. Our guy and America will also be on the late show breaking down the UFC card. Says, I have a buddy who got the Bruins to win the Cup plus 1,200 for 500, but hedged with 150 for 5K. Is that too much? Yeah. Yeah, that's too much. Unless he must think the Blues are going to win. So he makes that hedge because he actually likes the Blues to win. Because, yeah, that's way, I mean, that's, to me, I mean, it's all about, I guess he has changed his opinion and now likes the Blues to win the Cup. That's the only way that big of a spot makes sense. Joe and Easy shouting out Lamont Williams. This guy, Lamont Williams, handing out winner after winner after winner. Red Girl on Twins team total over. Okay, so let's go over a couple things and let's start hammering this baseball card. First off, though, could you throw up, Rafa, my NBA record? If I take the Raptors money line every game and they get swept, I still end up the year plus double-digit units. And that's really all I ask for come the end of the day. But also do remember that my futures haven't been sent in yet. So there is 2 losses on the Rockets. So, but even with that, even with those 2 losses and the Warriors getting swept, I'm just a tiny bit over double-digit units. So we will do that. Okay, let's get to work and let's go over some action from some other cappers, and then we'll break down the games together right now. Dave Allais today is on the Angels money line at plus 100, Marlins first 5 money line at plus 100, Rangers money line minus 135. So Dave Allais is going right up against Cap and Cesana. Dave Allais has a money line parlay. Indians, Dodgers, they're both at minus 200. That gives him a plus 107 parlay. Anthony L., who will be on the show on Friday and was on the show on Monday, is also on this Twins team total over with Red Girl. Red Girl and Ant L. both on the Twins team total over 3.5 at minus 130. And Anthony L. is also on the Rangers team total over 5.5 at plus 105. And then Astute Chaos has now moved his parlay to this. LA Dodgers first 5 team total over 2.5. Minnesota Twins first 5 team total over 2. And Milwaukee Brewers first 5 team total over as well. And that's giving him a plus 600 parlay plus over that, like 647. All right. And Antoine Seymour said, Jimmy, how about the Marlins past few days on another roll? They are. Don Reed saying, Mally Mouse saying Giants have lost 8 straight. Don Reed said, I've been cashing Rangers team total overs pretty regularly. Yes, so I had some bad bounces. One was both my Angels plays would have cashed, but because Hendricks started, they were voided. Were very disappointing. So I lose 2 winners there. And then I loved my breakdown on Brault, and I ended up losing money on that game. I actually didn't because I can't get the first 5 team totals. I can't bet them, so I didn't actually lose money, but I lost a unit here on the show. I pushed my Pirates first 5. And then the Diamondbacks double up hurt me yesterday badly. But a winning day, and this has been a terrible week. So it's my first winning day of the week. Monday and Tuesday killed me. Rafa, could you pop up the MLB record? It's ugly. It's ugly, but it's it exists. I mean, what else do you want me to say? All right, and we have a spot here. Rod Zawacki, 10 unit today, Angels money line. 10 unit today, I'm going to copy and paste that. So we have both Dave LA and Zawacki on the Angels money line. Now, are you guys not a little uncomfortable that Trout doesn't play in this game after the foot bruise? We'll go over that. Okay, let's get to work. Cardinals, Phillies. This game's popping up shortly. Let's get the lineups up. And let's get the market moves up here at sportsbookreview.com. Okay, so we have a great amount of games here, 10. We're going to be able to deep dive in each and every one of them. We do very well on these days where we have a smaller card because we work together and we hammer it, and that's what needs to happen here. Let's get to work. Oh, Triple K Marine, Raptors first half, Warriors full game plus 450. Raptors first half, Warriors first half, Raptors full game plus 500. Split plays, wow, very interesting. Very, very. And CT Bays tailed the Pirates. Jimmy took the full game reverse plus 205. I'm so happy you cashed, but I did not. I did not. And Ben Sports saying Danny Green isn't clutch in the playoffs. He's been there numerous times with the Spurs and showed up when he needed to step out. Oh, I agree. Yes, I agree. Stephen Dollery saying great play, Red Girl on the Twins team, total over. A lot of people liking that. Okay, let's get to work. Let's get to work. Ron Fig says fade Skaggs. And that's another spot with Skaggs where I almost have to start moving some of these bets to action because I still don't know exactly what the hell they're going to do. Rod Zwack said he didn't play yesterday, either did Pujols. Yeah, but Pujols was being rested, and I'll go over the quotes from Trout. Trout has a foot injury. All right, let's get to work. Cardinals, Phillies. Let's look at market moves. Let's look at the lineups. Let's get to work. Sorry it took so long. And Don Reed said, which Eichhoff are you getting is the question. Well, the Eichhoff we've seen lately has been terrible. So Phillies open at minus 125. There's been an 11-cent move towards the Cardinals and Dakota Hudson. This total opens at 10. It's now at 10.5. Don Reed says Cards have been having some bad luck. Melly Mel says Cards worst team in MLB. Let's take a look at the lineups. And for the Cards, it is an ugly one. It is an ugly one, an ugly confirmed lineup. I'm surprised I don't have a Phillies confirmed lineup. Let's see if I do now. Yes, I do now. Okay, good. Refresh that. For the Cardinals, Colton Wong, Paul DeJong, Goldschmidt, Ozuna, Martinez, Wieters, Giorco, Bader. So it's not that bad. It gets bad late with Giorco, but it's not that bad. It's not as bad as I thought initially. And you're dealing with Wieters because of an injury to Molina. For the Phillies, McCutchen, Segura, Harper, Hoskins, Hernandez, Kingery, Knapp, Franco. Okay, let's see. And Matt Randall, taint play today. Brewers, money line. I've copied and pasted that. We're going to go over that. Greg Matt says, I think Danny Green gets some points mainly due to the Warriors being up so much and him getting uncontested garbage time looks. Interesting. And our guy Ron Fig saying fade sale. Okay, let's talk. Dakota Hudson, 3-3, 4.22 ERA, 1.63 whip. Eichhoff has looked terrible. Tom Marino says Cardinals should hit better after struggling against good pitching. Phillies have been hitting well. Harper's been strong the last 2 weeks. I'd lean over. Steve Cordero took the Phillies at minus 111. Ben Sports picks 24/7 on Phillies first 5. Don Ricci says Hudson isn't great. Phillies homered 4 times yesterday in that 11-4 win, but that was a pretty nice situation against the first-time starter in Major League Baseball. And something I said yesterday that I hadn't been fading these guys. Traditionally, I had been. Last year, it hurt me. I'm going right back to the well right now. Going back to the well right now, or at least moving forward, and that worked yesterday. Probably should have. I bet Phillies minus 1.5, but I made him a -1 here yesterday. Okay, so Phillies are rolling. Bryce Harper is hot right now, and his average is up to 243. This is a streaky hitter. He's feeling it right now. Talking about Eichhoff being shitty. Allowed 17 hits, 13 runs his last 12 innings. He has 9.75 ERA over his last 3 starts. After giving up 0 home runs in his first 30 innings, Eichhoff has allowed 7 home runs in his last 3 outings. Eichhoff made 2 appearances against the Cardinals, 1-1, 5-0 victory. On May 8th, he allowed 3 hits and 8 shutout innings. He looked great. But that was a different Eichhoff. It feels like he's just not throwing right now. Overthinking things. Cardinals are 7-18 in May, after going 19-10 in March and April. Hudson lost his only career start against the Phillies. Gave up 8 runs on 7 hits, but just 2 of them were earned. But Hudson's last start Saturday, 6 1/3, 6-3 win over the Braves. Gave up 5 hits and 2 runs. He looked pretty good. 4 quality starts in May. Cardinals are going to have no Molina, but Matt Wieters did look good. Tomarino says Phillies line up better than it's been all season. Kingery was hurt. He's been hitting great, and he's healthy. Matt Randall leaning Cardinals today. I feel like they need a win, and we'll get one here. Sean Glass says Cards aren't hitting. Ben Sports 24/7 says Phillies crush righties. I'm taking Philly first 5. If Phillies crush righties and Dakota Hudson's pitching better, let's talk team totals. Let's talk team totals because I don't trust Eichhoff. And if you don't trust Eichhoff, maybe the full game over is the play. Because it feels like the Phillies are going to get theirs. Dom Reed said, I've been looking at these totals over 10 and 11, and they convincingly are going over these totals in general. It's been tough for us under players. Russell Gordy says, going under too many runs for a game less than 24 hours later. Elio Topset said, pass line is too high. Oh, this is interesting. Okay, I guess I want to look at a Phillies. Are the Phillies going to touch Hudson? Because they're hitting right now. I guess it comes down to that. Let's see what we get team totals. Phillies over 4.5 minus 138. Juice heavy. It's a morning game. Liberty Finder says, late to the party. What's play today? It is the Brew Crew. Lamont Williams says, my play's in. I'm about to go back to work. Much love to you, Lamont Williams. Where is the play? How did I miss Lamont's play? Oh, there it is. There it is. I got it right here. Boston, Yankees under 8.5. Cleveland, super run line. Angels money line. And St. Louis money line. Look at Lamont taking St. Louis. Okay, I guess I'm a little uncomfortable. It's a morning game. Generally leads to less offense. The Phillies are coming off a game where they put up 11 runs against weak pitching. Dakota Hudson should shut them down here. Eichhoff not pitching well. This line's already moved up to 10.5. 80 Fahrenheit, clear, 5 miles per hour out to center. Wow, look at Ski Profit just to put more fear into me. 18-3 in his last 21 bets on Warriors games. Holy shit. Russell Gordy says Cards and under is the play. There's been a move towards the Cardinals for a reason. Grim Reaper liking the under in the Texas game. Terrell Goodman in the house, love it. Sean Glass says comes down to Philly are going to sweep. Is Philly going to sweep or not? Better pitching Philly all day. All right, I don't feel comfortable with this spot. We'll see if Babano's on it, and we can talk about it a little more. Let's go to Giants-Marlins. Tyler Beede versus Sandy Alcantara. Alcantara just has a fastball right now, and that's not enough. But are the Giants capable of hitting him? Are the Giants so shitty that they're not capable of hitting this? For the Giants, you got Panic, Vogt, Sandoval, Belt, Longoria, Crawford, Pilar, Yastrzemski. For the Marlins, you have Granderson, Cooper, Anderson, Walker, Castro, Ramirez, Rojas, Holiday. Giants hitting 219, 657 OPS versus righties. Marlins hitting 233, 639 OPS versus righties. Giants have lost 7 straight. Beatty's not pitching the major since May 14th. Used as a reliever, he looked okay in 2 1/3. He's only started the season, he got touched. 7 earned runs in 2 1/3 against Cincinnati. Beatty's looked great in the minors, though. 2.34 ERA, 1.10 WHIP. And remember, that's BCL. Marlins have won 9 of 12. After winning just one of their first 14 series, they've won 3 of their past 4. Alcantara, what are you going to get from him? He throws a 2-hit shutout to beat the Mets on May 19th, strikes out 8, follows that up by getting touched by the Nationals in 5 innings. Out of 10 innings, he has 2 quality starts. Elliot Feast is painting my bedroom right now. My girl thinks I can't multitask. I'm trying to pay attention to the show, too. I respect that, Elliot V. Elliot V says San Francisco's horrible. Elliot Topset says Giants look terrible. Mally Mal says they won the series already. Yeah, they've won 3 of 4. Jansen says Miami hot. Rod Zawacki taking the Raptors in the over tonight, going against that move. Anil Frank says, what's Cards first 5 plus a half? I can tell you that right now, but my pace is slowed. But we have 10 minutes before Babano gets here. I'm not going to panic. St. Louis plus a half is a huge, huge favorite line. Minus 140 or minus 145. It's too hot. It's just too big of a... Antoine Seymour says Marlins sweep, Jimmy. Steve Cordero says Marlins money line minus 1, take it. Let's see what the market has done with this game. Here we go, full game. Marlins open up at minus 108. and a move towards the Giants. His total opened at 8, and it's at 7.5. But notice Pinnacle's the only book hanging the 8 still. Marlins open up at minus 108. And now, so just a 3-cent move towards the Giants. We got Stooch in the house that he's smashing Golden State. I think there's going to be more of these guys hammering Golden State. Dominic said another team something wrong with is the D-backs. They lose another series no matter what happens today in Colorado. I thought they were in a slump that was fixed in San Francisco, but that's not the case. Trey Parker says, just now jumping on the show, Trey Parker also on Twins team total over 3.5, Brewers team total over 4, and Red Sox team total over 4.5. I like those looks a lot, Trey. I like those looks a lot. I'm going to copy and paste that. Grim Reaper on Marlins first 5. That's an interesting look. Because we know the Giants bullpen is good. That is an interesting look. Brendan Cruz asking what Taint play today. It's the Brew Crew. That is an interesting look on Marlins first 5. All right, right now I'm just going to leave that as a lean. I'm leaning towards joining on Marlins first 5 with Alcantara. I like that. I mean, what's Beatty going to give us? He just seems to struggle in the majors. And Alcantara at home with a Giants team that's just not hitting. Take one last look at these lineups. Giants panic vote, Sandoval, Belt, Longoria, Crawford. I mean, come on. You can't get through that lineup? I bet you he can. Noli knows like in the under 7.5. Elliott V like in Miami. Vince Griffin in the house. Thank you, my friend. But I'm happy you guys cashed off it because I still was just on the first 5 that pushed. Very interesting. Keem Cement says it's Pena, not Skaggs. Let's see what are the books hanging in this baseball game because it seems so confusing who is actually pitching in that Angels game. Yeah, it's Skaggs. They have Skaggs here. So remember to make your bet action if you're going to make a bet on that because all the books here. Oh, but this one has Pena too, so I don't know what the hell's going on. And the max bet is the over 213.5 from Lamont Williams. Wow, going against that trend of first game unders. Game 1 unders. All right, I'm going to copy and paste that. Okay, I'm leaning towards Marlins first 5. We can talk to Bobano about that. Let's keep rolling. My pace is not being fast enough so far on this show. Diamondbacks, Rockies. We just heard our guy Dom Ricci talking about the Diamondbacks, Rockies spot and how disappointing the Diamondbacks have been of late. There's a Proline Master ready to go. On Point Wager says all over Angels over 8.5. Doug Anderson on the Giants team total under. We think the Marlins might be able to get the Beatty. They're feeling good. Okay, I think I'm going to make a move on this Marlins first 5. I'm very close to doing it. The only notes I said, I feel Beatty will pitch well, but don't be afraid of that ERA. That was one bad outing. I agree. He's looked great in the minors. And Ron Fig says it's Skaggs in Vegas. Look, it's Skaggs on the books right now. All the books have Skaggs listed. And Ron Fig is there in Vegas working right now. Love Ron Figs. Ron Fig, my guy. Okay. And Dave L.A. says, don't worry about the Raptors. The world was on Sixers and Bucks. Tonight you will see Raptors are a real contender in this series. Von Burgess like in the over. Interesting. Interesting that Pinnacle's hanging in the 7 when all the other books have moved to 7.5. Let's talk Diamondbacks, Rockies. Taylor Clark has looked good. Kyle Freeland has looked bad. This is a situation that I've been making a mess of in the last year and a half. Is a guy like Kyle Freeland. 2-6, 6.71 ERA. We know how good he's been at home. We know how good he was last year. Grim Reaper says, I like that plus 100. Marlins first 5. Favorite now. I don't know. And Rod Zawicki saying, yep, going over. And Jimmy Rummy says, well, I'm backing D-backs plus 135 yesterday, but not the plus 115. I get it. Oh, Ron Fig, you're my guy. You know that, Ron Fig, you're my guy. Got to get you to come to Miami with us. Luna Star says, what do you think about my picks, Jimbo? Let's take a look at it. White Sox, Red Sox, Twins, Rockies, and Golden State under. I'm going to copy and paste Luna Star. White Sox, Red Sox. You know, a lot of guys, look, I like the White Sox, but Banuelos has been so bad lately. He's just been so bad, and 2 of his last 3 starts were against the Indians, and he got touched. We'll go over that. Red Sox and Twins, I find interesting. A lot of guys are taking team total overs in that spot and not actually backing those teams. I like it. I like your action. Dominic says, Freeland, better pitcher at home, but tough to get swept 4 in a row. Okay, let's break down this game quickly. Look at the market moves and the totals. So, sorry, let's go to for the money line. Opened at minus 148. So there's been a 23-cent move towards the Diamondbacks to stop the 4-game sweep from happening. From a totals perspective, the Diamondbacks open at 12, and a lot of books still hanging 12, but Pinnacle's now moved down to 11.5. Let's take a look at the lineups. Let's take a quick look at the lineups right now. I think it's interesting taking the White Sox. So do we think that the Indians blew their load there last night or in the last 3 games against the Red Sox? This Red Sox-Yankees game is now in red. 57% chance of rain. Let's see. We still don't have lineups yet, and we may not get them. And we don't have expected lineups yet. So we don't have expected lineups for the other games, sadly. That's too bad. Okay, but that makes it easier to kind of move through this quicker. All right, let's go. Diamondbacks hitting 291, 855 OPS versus lefties. That average has stayed high, but that OPS has been dropping. Rockies are hitting 255, 763 OPS versus righties. That's going up. Rockies have won 4 in a row, 7-9, going for the 4-game sweep. They're 5-1 on their season-long 10-game homestand, 3 walk-off victories. Freeland's only made 3 quality starts. He's given up 14 home runs and 56 in the third. Diamondbacks have lost 8 of 11. And remember, that's all losses, a sweep of the Giants, and then all losses. They scored 34 runs in that 3-game sweep in San Francisco. They're just 6 for 28 with runners in scoring position against Colorado. Clark has a 2.93 ERA, made his major league debut April 20th, and made 2 quality starts since then, and made a quick little return to AAA Reno. Charged with 3 runs and 6 in the third, getting his first career victory in his last start against San Francisco. And the 3 runs, 2 inherited runners scored after he left the game, so it was a little better than it looked. Freeland looks terrible. He's 0-2 with a 9.53 ERA and 5 May starts. Grim Reaper, talking about there, giving a 1-3, 8.65 in 5 home starts this season. Oh, 5 May starts, excuse me. Did I say home starts? Sorry. So Freeland 0-2 with 9.53 ERA and 5 May starts. Made only 3 quality starts. You know, I look at this Diamondbacks lineup, and I think these numbers, offensive numbers, are just going to come down. They shouldn't be this good. Freeland gave up 9 hits, 8 runs, 6 innings in his only previous start against Arizona this season. 9-2 loss in Arizona. 3-3 in 9 career starts against the Diamondbacks. The over's 5-0 in Freeland's last 5. Dave L.A. says Rockies sweep. Robert Cherry says Jimmy Twins hands down. Yankees, Brewers, Indians, Dodgers, Mariners, and Rangers. No scariness. Let's cash. I like it. I'll copy and paste that. Robert Cherry. Neil Frank says weird seeing Freeland do so poorly after a great season last year. Mally Mouse says runs guaranteed. When Bettis used to, oh yeah, but Bettis is not starting here. Mally Mouse saying is Freeland on new Homer Bailey. Look, I do poorly with this situation when there's a pitcher that we expect better from who's pitching badly. I'm not making a move on it yet. We'll see if Babano's on it. Red Sox, Yankees. Sale versus Hap. 66 Fahrenheit, rain, 9 miles per hour, sideways. 9 miles per hour, sideways. Sale. 1-6, 4.19 ERA, 1.06 whip. Let's see what they've done here with the market in the Yankees, Red Sox. Red Sox open at minus 140. There's been a 4-cent move towards them. The total opens at 8.5. It is still at 8.5. Domrich says something's wrong with D-backs. It's Rockies or pass. I agree with that. Capper John in the house. Love seeing him. Artez Jackson says I'm going to wait, but I lean Philly right now. St. Louis Cardinals batting 182 versus righties, and Eichhoff needs a bounce back. This right-hand pitching, I don't have batting 182 versus righties. I have the Cardinals are hitting 253, 745 OPS versus righties. Do you mean like on the road or something like that? Joe Anisi adding the over 8.5 in Yanks Red Sox. Yanks won both meetings last month, and they beat up on Chris Sale 8-0. It was April 16th. Sale seems like a different pitcher right now. They're 30-10 after a 6-9 start, 7.5 game lead over the Red Sox. Yankees won their 8th straight series. God, against over San Diego. They're just rolling right now. 13-3 in their last 16. I mean, LeMahieu, Voit, Urshela, Torres all homered yesterday. Haps look bad this year. 4-3, 5.09 ERA, 3-0 with a 5.40 ERA in his past 4 starts. So they're still winning, but he doesn't look good. Last pitch Saturday in Kansas City. Carried a shutout into the 6th inning. Then he allowed 3 hits, 3 runs, 4 hits in that inning. Tomino says Sale's been overpriced. I'd lean Yankees because of Red Sox pen issues. Yes. Elliot V says Yankees better bullpen. And he loves the Phillies as well. Grin Reaper giving us a cool stat. Rockies 8-1 their last 9 during game 4 of a series. Interesting. Jin Rummy says, I like the run statement, but not guaranteed statement. Over 11.5 if minus 110 or better isn't that bad, says Jin Rummy. Yankees are backed by Sean Glass here. Rico, money in the house. Love seeing that. Russell Gordy says Rockies Coors Field fade has been losing, staying off that Jimmy. Games going under. They have been. Yeah, we have not been hitting the Coors Field fade this year much at all. I've done it 4 times and I'm 1-3. What's Sale going to give us? 6-5, 1.87 ERA and 18 career regular season appearances against the Yankees. 2-3 with a 2.36 ERA at Yankee Stadium. Yeah, it definitely fell out. We were up over 20 units at one point. Joe Anisi says Happ is the worst Yankee starting pitcher. And Raul Porwando also liking the over 8.5. Interesting. Okay, so over 8.5. We did not get to as many games as I'd like to, but thankfully we have over 8.5. That's just a lean for me right now, but it's an interesting look. We didn't get to enough games, but we're going to have Babano joining us, and we have time to talk about them. So we have Brewers, Pirates, Twins, Rays. A lot of talk about people backing this Twins team total over in Tampa. We have a lot of great cappers on that play. Royals, Rangers. I was initially going to jump all over the Rangers, but as we heard, Captain Sasan is on the Royals, going right up against Dave L.A., and he broke down the reasons why he liked the Royals. We will discuss that more. Dave L.A. says Red Sox win. I guess if you like the Red Sox, it almost feels like a first 5 play, Dave. Maybe a first 5 play there. Then we have Indians, White Sox. Indians offense got on track in Boston at Fenway. We'll see if that continues. Manny Benuelos has looked terrible this year and terrible against the Indians. Then we have Mets, Dodgers, Vargas, Ryu. Ryu's been spectacular this year. Could start the All-Star game for the NL. And then we have Angels, Mariners, and still a discrepancy at certain places. Who's going to be starting for the Angels? But Skaggs is what the books are showing right now. I know other sites are showing Pena, but Skaggs is what's showing, and that's Kikuchi. So those are the games left, and we've got time. So we'll keep our pace up, but we got time. Don't need to panic. But now let's bring in our next guest. I love these Thursday mornings very, very much when we are joined by Hamilton's own Ian Cameron Babano in the house. How you doing on this Thursday morning, my guy?
NBA Finals game day for the first time on Canadian soil. It can't be anything but great today.
Isn't it just a dream come true? It's just a dream come true. The Score up our network up in Canada, they put out the that picture of all the faces from the past 24 years, and it just flooded with memories, and we're finally here. The only thing that's missing is the purple, and who cares? I'm just so excited that we're back, man, or in this opportunity. But why don't we just quickly, we got a lot of afternoon baseball that we want to talk about, but I'd love to hear what your take on Game 1 is at this point, because we have a lot of guys liking the Raptors more than I expected, and then the great Ski Profit on Warriors first quarter, first half, full game. Do you have an angle on this spot?
Yeah, I think Toronto first quarter and first half is what I've decided on for this game. I don't know about full game, but what I'm concerned about with Golden State is, and I know they've handled these kind of situations before, but we're talking about a team that's been off for 9 days, and I know they've dealt with layoffs before and playoffs past, and maybe it's not going to phase them as much as I think. But you're talking about also a little bit of a different routine for Golden State to start a series. When's the last time they've had to go on the road to start a playoff series? It's been a very long time. This is a little bit of a different circumstance for them. There's just a bunch of things that have me a little bit concerned about Golden State starting this game strong tonight. I see this game really being a lot like Game 1 was of the Toronto-Milwaukee series, where actually I think the Raptors come out strong tonight, just like they did in Game 1 in Milwaukee. Remember, the Raptors had a great first quarter, great first half, Game 1 of that series. Then Milwaukee made their run in the second half, ended up coming back to win that game and cover the number. A brutal beat if you had the Raptors, I remember, in that Game 1 against Milwaukee. But I think this game could play out very similar. I think Toronto probably comes out a little bit just sharper, executes a little bit better at both ends of the floor for the first quarter, first half. And then Golden State makes their run in the second half. Keep in mind, Golden State was not a good first half team against Portland. I know they swept that series, but they got behind in the first half in Game 2. They got behind in the first half in Game 3. They got behind in the first half in Game 4, and they came back to beat Portland in all 3 of those games. But in all 3 of those games, they did not start the game strong. They did not start the game sharp, particularly at the defensive end of the court. So I probably would lean first half over the total as well, but my bets for tonight are going to be Toronto first quarter, Toronto first half. Golden State's had a problem in these first halves, and we'll see if they can solve it, but I'm not sure they will.
Interesting look, and that's very similar to what our guy Jay Money is on too, which I was saying to Jay that I want that first 6 minutes of the second quarter. I actually like the first half better than the first quarter because that's where our depth can show its strength. But in hearing what you're saying about the Warriors, not being used to this type of situation, I mean, they did it in Houston last year, and when I was going over all the different factors, I was looking at the Warriors. I was like, man, they've done it all. They've done it all. They've handled everything. And that series, now some will say that they were fortunate in that series that Chris Paul got hurt, but they went into Houston the first two games, split them, and then won Game 7 in Houston. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. And I'm excited to hear that you're on them early. I think that I've been trying so hard not to double up on this game just to ensure, because if I just take the Raptors money line every game, I end the season up double-digit units, even if they get swept. But I feel like doubling up on first half full game on the Raptors today. I'm just hesitant to do it, but I love hearing that you're on it. Great stuff, Babano. What a day it's going to be. I hope you enjoy the game enormously and have a really nice watch. Do you know where you're going to be watching it tonight?
I haven't decided yet. We're trying to, it could be at a bar someplace, could be at a friend's place. I might be hosting, so who knows yet? We're still trying to iron out the details. But regardless, it'll be fun. We'll be into it. We'll be excited, and there'll be some drinks involved, so it can't go wrong.
I love it. I love it, Babano. And I don't know if you know this yet, because we've been putting something together. We are taking the Betting with the Bag show on the road to Miami. We're taking it on the road to Miami the third week of August, and just so you know, there is a plane ticket and a hotel room with your name on it. So I just hope you can join us in Miami the third week of August. Does that sound like a possibility?
It should be okay. I mean, I don't want to say 100% for sure because I've always got to look and see, make sure there's no things going on already. I've usually planned, cottage trips, and usually I have a wedding or two I got to attend. I just got to make sure that's fine. But absolutely, if I'm free that weekend, would absolutely love to be there. But I will keep you posted and hope to be there. Absolutely. Sounds like it will be one hell of a good time.
Yeah. We're just locking down the hotel, and it looks absolutely spectacular. Absolutely spectacular. So we'll talk more about that. Okay, Babano, let's get into this afternoon baseball. If you are on something in the afternoon, I still haven't made an official play yet on these games, but I'm close to making one. But I want to hear what you're on, and we'll do this together. First off, afternoon baseball. Is there anything that you're looking at in these three early games?
In terms of the afternoon games, St. Louis, Philadelphia, probably over the total I'd lean, but it's 10.5. I mean, it's a huge number. I don't really like what I'm seeing out of either guy, although Dakota Hudson has pitched a little bit better lately for the St. Louis Cardinals. Eichhoff, I've never been a huge fan of him, so I'd probably lean to that one over the total, but not going to get involved. San Francisco, Miami, that's a pass for me. I don't like either pitcher. I don't like either team, Beatty or Alcantara. Not exactly two teams I'm in any rush to back, so not really involved there. And even Arizona, Colorado. I mean, Freeland has been, a little bit of a problem for the Colorado Rockies. He's not necessarily been sharp, particularly at Coors Field, which has been surprising. I remember early in his career, Freeland was great at home and struggled on the road. And now it's starting to even out a little bit. He's had some tough starts in that ballpark. Clark, on the other hand, I saw him pitch the other series against San Francisco. There's nothing I saw out of him that impressed me all that much. So that's a tricky game. I'd rather bet against those two pitchers. Again, total interested me, but 12, that's really, really high. I mean, that's the thing with overs right now. You're starting to see an adjustment. The base number for the totals in baseball, it's going up. You're seeing a lot more 9s, 9.5s, 10s, 10.5s now than you did way back in April and earlier in May. So you got to be careful. These totals are getting jacked up just a little bit, it seems, day by day.
They are. They're getting higher as the weather is getting warmer. Brandon Lugo says, man, August is a tough month with family stuff, but I may make the trip down for a few days. I would please. He says black out and fly back. I love that, friend. I love that, man. And if you want to have fun, you party with this man, Babano. He's one of the most fun guys you could possibly hang with. Okay, I agree with you. I think these three games are very uncomfortable. I will tell you what I'm close to pulling the trigger on, and I want to hear what you think of it. I'm close to pulling the trigger on the Marlins' first five and Sandy Alcantara. 2 starts ago, he held down the Mets, and we know the Mets are hitting, and he held them down, and he looked great. Last start, he gets touched. It seems like he's a fastball or nothing pitcher, but the Marlins feel good about themselves. BD looked good in the minors all year, but just had one bad start. Noli Nose is on the under in this game. Pinnacle still holding an 8, everything else holding a 7.5. Mally Mal says Giants win. BD will have a good game, and the 13 ERA misleading public on the other overnight line. I agree with that. I guess maybe I should lean towards the first 5 under, but even that with Alcantara having no movement. What do you think? Do you think this is just a stay-off game? BD Alcantara, Giants Marlins?
I wish I could give you some kind of constructive discussion about. I wish I could give you some kind of constructive discussion about this game, but I said right away when I looked at the pitching matchup, I looked at the two teams, I said I want no part of this game, and I still don't want any part of it. I mean, these are two bad teams. Somehow San Francisco looks like they're almost just as bad as Miami right now. Nolly might be onto something with the under because, I don't trust the pitchers, but these are two feeble, weak lineups, two weaker offenses going at it here in an early start game. So this could be an opportunity for these two pitchers to maybe fare okay because the lineups are not anywhere close to probably as tough as they've seen previously. But yeah, I wish I could help you guys out there, but this was all my games tonight are at night, my stronger opinions, but this one's a clear pass for me.
Yeah, no, they're 3 tricky games. I completely understand your hesitation. What's Eichhoff going to give us in that first game? He's looked so bad lately, but Cardinals are playing just bad baseball. And now we have Dakota Hudson. I guess with Dakota Hudson, you wish that Molina was catching for him. And knowing that Molina's not in the lineup, I bet you that affects Dakota Hudson in a negative way. And that, to me, makes me think Phillies team total over because the Phillies bats are hitting. And I guess that's the move that I'm closest to making is Phillies team total over. When this game starts, oh no, perfect. Not till 1:05.
It's an hour away, yeah.
Okay, I guess I'm leaning towards the Phillies team total over. I think that Dakota Hudson will struggle with Wieters behind the plate. What do you think of that angle of taking a Phillies team total over because the Phillies bats are hot and Dakota Hudson going with Wieters may not be nearly as comfortable as he is with Molina?
Yeah, I mean, this is another one where, to me, I'm very interested in betting against these two pitchers. I know Hudson was better last time out, and he certainly has a potential for some upside here. The Cardinals, to me, are a very weird team to figure out. There's some games where their lineup gets completely shut down, and then there's games where they can bust out for 8 or 9 runs. So they've been a very confusing team to me. We know Philadelphia, Eichhoff got hit around in his last start, and to me, he was not going to be able to keep up the way he was pitching in a couple of those starts. He was primed for a little bit of regression. I think we definitely saw that in this game. Like I said, Jimmy, I was interested in the over, but I didn't get it at 9.5. It's 10.5 now. That's very high. It's too high for me to get involved. I was leaning that over direction, but now it's just going to be a pass. 10.5, I'm going to look at other games.
Okay, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to take the Phillies team total over. I really think that Dakota Hudson is going to have less familiarity with Wieters, and Molina is a hugely important spot here. Russell Gordy says Cards ready to go home, early AM game, under all day. I get that, but I just don't feel like Dakota is going to be comfortable here. Sean Glass says use the same view for Miami game. Okay, I'm going to keep thinking on it. Let's talk about games that you're looking at and that you're liking, Babano. What are you looking at on the late card?
We're looking at the Mets and the Dodgers. We've got Vargas and Ryu. The total has already gone up quite a bit. It was 8 pretty much across the board. Now it's 8.5. It's gone up, well, not a ton, but it's gone up a half run. I've been riding this series over the total, and I'm going to do it again tonight. Now, I know Ryu's been excellent for the Dodgers. He's had a tremendous season. I understand that. But to me, there's going to come a time when he's going to, fall down a little bit. He's never been like this good in his entire career. And now all of a sudden he's going to mow through this entire season and pitch tremendous start to finish. I personally don't see it happening. I think there's going to be some bumpy bumps in the road, some deeper waters for Ryu. I know he's been sensational, 1.65 ERA on the season. for him. He's been outstanding. They've been winning with Ryu on the mound. He's been good even at Dodger Stadium. No question about that. But he didn't pitch well against the Mets when he faced them last year. He gave up 5 runs on 10 hits in 6 innings, and the Mets are tearing the cover off the baseball as of late. You look at this Mets lineup. They have scored 5 runs or more, this Mets team, 9 of their last 10 games. They have been hitting some pretty they've been in good form lineup-wise. I think they're going to be able to do a little bit of damage here against Ryu. They're also a better team against lefties, 265 batting average, 4.8 runs per game. I think Ryu gets hit a little bit. I'm not saying he's going to give up 6, 7, 8 runs, but I do think he's going to give up 3, 4 runs. I think he's going to give up more than he usually does. On the flip side, Jason Vargas, I know he's been pretty good as of late. He's given up 1 run or less in 4 of his last 5 starts. You do have to give him credit for that. But he's facing a Dodgers team that offensively is just absolutely raking at the plate. Everybody. Bellinger, you can't stop him right now. They scored 9 runs in 2 of the first 3 games of this series, the LA Dodgers. They've done pretty good themselves against lefty pitching, 5.2 runs per game. And you have 2 bullpens. This is the biggest part of this game, I think, going over the total. Even if it's only 2-1 or 2-2 midway through the game, the bullpens are in a disastrous state for both of these teams. Dodgers bullpen has struggled lately. The Mets bullpen was taxed after last night. They blew the game against the Dodgers in the 9th inning. Edwin Diaz did not pitch well, the closer. These are 2 bullpens that A, are struggling, and B, have been overworked significantly in this series. They're anything but fresh, and I think the lineups are going to take advantage of that in the latter innings and help this game over the total if it doesn't get over the total early. So 8.5. And again, you got 2 teams just are surging in terms of overs. I mean, you've got the New York Mets on an 8-1 over the total run in their last 9 games. Dodgers games have now gone over the total in 9 straight games. Dodgers 9-0 to the over in their last 9 games. And when you get these over streaks, it's not something where you just ride it, because lineups can stay hot when they get going. Bullpens that are struggling and overworked, they stay overworked, especially without a day off. Those kind of streaks, when you get these kind of streaks going, it can take a while for the adjustment to be made, and I think it's going to continue to be that way for the Dodgers. So I'm on this one over 8.5 Mets Dodgers tonight.
Yeah, a lot of people agreeing with you. A lot of people backing it. And the bullpen spot is absolutely bang on. And a lot of talk about how there's a really nice point here about what's happened to the pen just being done, and Mets scoring the most runs in MLB between the 7th and 9th inning. Vargas has looked good his last 5 starts, and the only spot where the Dodgers didn't hit their team total over was against Matz, a lefty, and then they get to a righty and smash him. I think you're right, and we saw what the Dodgers did to that Mets bullpen last night. I like the look. The look seems to make a ton of sense right now. A nice day. I'm going to hold off on tailing at this moment, but I love hearing the breakdown. Great stuff. Okay, let's keep rolling along. Just one thing, Tease asking about Lamont Williams' max plays. Yes, his max play is he's got a cup. His max play is the over tonight in Warriors Raptors. That's his max bet. But he also is on Boston Yankees under 8.5, Cleveland super run line, Angels money line, and St. Louis money line in the early game. What else are you looking at, Fabano?
Maybe this is just maybe there's a reason Minnesota's the price they are right now against Tampa Bay. But you're going to give me a team that is having the season the Minnesota Twins are. Just phenomenal baseball, 37-17, 18-8 on the road, in 26 road games. And you're going to allow me to take them at a plus 128, plus 130 price right now? Sign me up. End of analysis right there. This is the Minnesota Twins at plus 130. Now, I understand Charlie Morton's been good, all right? He has. He's had a solid season for the Rays, no question. He's pitched well. This team's played well. They're a pretty damn good team themselves, Tampa Bay. I don't want to take everything away from them. They're playing good ball, 34-19. But hey, I think a team of me, Jimmy the Bag, and the crew behind the scenes at SBR could put together a team to sweep the Toronto Blue Jays right now. So let's calm down right now that Tampa Bay swept Toronto in 3 games straight these last 3 games. Now, Morton's been good, but let's not take anything away from Martin Perez. Martin Perez has been really, really solid for the Minnesota Twins. 2.95 ERA. The Twins are 4-0 in Perez's 4 road starts. They're 6-2 in Martin Perez's 8 starts overall. And even though Morton's numbers are there, 2.54 ERA for Tampa, 3.68 ERA at the Trop. At the Trop, Tampa Bay's only 1-3 in Charlie Morton's 4 home starts. So he's pitched well enough to win, but the Rays have not been winning with Charlie Morton on the mound at home. 1-3 in his 4 home starts this season. The bottom line to me here is this Minnesota team's been excellent. They're actually, their road record's been sensational. They've shown that ability to play just as well on the road as they do at home. 19-9 at home, 18-8 on the road for this Minnesota Twins. You're not going to get this team priced like this very often. I'm not going to hesitate to try and take advantage of it. So give me Minnesota here, plus 130.
Yeah, it makes a ton of sense. Tom Reed saying, I love the Twins, and over here, going to add Red Girls team total over here at 3.5. A lot of people liking the Twins team total over here at 3.5 as well. And it's just at minus 120 here at Pinnacle, team total over 3.5. That Fire TV says, can't go against Tampa Bay at home. I completely understand that look, Babano, and it was a great breakdown as well. We're running out of time here, but I do think we have enough time just to touch on the last 2 games that we haven't touched on here. First one I would like to touch on, but first off, do you have any other plays on this card, or can I start picking games?
Lean a little bit to the Pirates. I still think Musgrove is going to eventually turn it around. I think he's a good pitch. I know he's had a really rough go, but don't forget that early in the season, he was pitching really well for the Pirates. I don't know how the hell it went sideways for him the way it has, but it has. I think he's going to turn it around at some point. They're a little bit tantalizing to me as a home underdog tonight against Milwaukee. Brewers are obviously the better of the 2 teams. I understand that, but there's nothing I've seen out of Chase Anderson that excites me. He hasn't looked right since returning to the starting rotation off the injured list. A couple of starts, he's been very, very shaky. Pittsburgh's, I think, got a chance there. That's a smaller bet for me. It's not as strong, but a small play, I think, for me there on Pittsburgh. And kind of interested in the Boston team total over against the Yankees. I kind of lean to the full game over 8.5 there, Boston Yankees as well. I just don't know what we're going to get from Sale. I mean, Sale has shown signs of turning it around. He's been a lot better the last month or so. He did get into some trouble last start against Houston, but his defense was really bad in that game. A couple of errors, 2 of those runs. He gave up 4 runs, but only 2 were earned. So he really didn't pitch that terribly, Sale, against Houston in his last start. I do think Boston's going to hit Happ. Happ in this ballpark has not pitched well. Boston's lineup certainly hitting the ball well. We saw that the last few games against Cleveland, no question. Their offense just as a whole, after a slower start to the season, the last couple of weeks, this lineup 1 through 9 has really been collectively hitting the ball quite well. It's just a question for me. Do I think the Yankees can get to Sale a little bit? I think they could. I certainly would lean to that full game over, but I might go a little safer and just rely on Boston to do the damage, because I do think Happ is going to get hit in this game. It's a question of, is Sale going to get hit as well? So definitely will be on the Boston team total over, maybe the full game over as well, but that's the way I'm looking in that big Red Sox-Yankees rivalry matchup.
Yeah, I like that look. I like that look a lot. But if we think that Happ is going to get touched, although he did look better last start, doesn't that make the Red Sox give the Red Sox value in this spot, or you still feel Sale's questionable?
Yeah, $1.45 on the road with Sale is not the great price I'm looking at. I'm looking to back him with here in this game. It is still a New York team that, even amidst all the guys that have been out of the lineup, the way this team's been able to score runs, your Gio Ursulas and your Luke Voits of the world and DJ LeMahieu's and guys like this have stepped up and been incredible for this team in their lineup, with all the guys that they've been without, with being without Sanchez earlier this season, with still being without Stanton, with still being without Judge, although Aaron Judge is closing in on returning pretty soon for the Yankees. But all these guys out, and they've had all of these foot soldiers step up in the lineup and get the job done. And so even though this has been a weakened Yankees lineup, they've still had these games. Like, look at yesterday against San Diego, against a good young pitcher in Paddock. Absolutely crushed the guy early in that game. This Yankees lineup is still pretty dangerous, even with the guys out. And Sale, say what you will about Sale. Sale has still had the odd issue with home runs, and obviously that comes into play when you're pitching at Yankee Stadium.
No, it's a great breakdown. I know we got to end the show, but I just wanted to at least touch on the last two games on the card that we haven't broken down. I think your Musgrove look is interesting backing the Pirates. I'm going to need a little bit more time. Brew Crew not playing very well right now. 31-25, lost 6 of their past 10. Chase Anderson's looked okay, and he's always pitched well against Pittsburgh. But I kind of like your backing Musgrove here. You know, I don't know why. Earlier in the year, I was like, this guy is an ace, and he's just. I mean, I guess it's a tough spot against the Dodgers, and he's not looked good against the Brewers, but I find that look very interesting. I'm going to spend a little bit more time on it. Okay, quickly, Royals, Rangers, Junis, Mike Minor. I came into this show, or I guess maybe an hour before the show, thinking I was going to back the Rangers here, or at least take their team total over to keep their bats rolling. But then I heard guys on the other side backing the Royals here as a dog, Captain Sassana, Russell Gordy, backing Junis here on the road. Royals don't hit lefties at all. Mike Minor's been so good this year. Royals were just swept by the White Sox. I mean, they've lost 6 or 7. They're playing bad baseball. And they had to get into their bullpen so early yesterday because of the Sparkman ejection. To me, everything is saying Rangers, but I'm concerned hearing these guys on the other side. Do you have a feel on this Royals-Rangers spot?
If I'm looking at Texas, and I want nothing to do with Junis or Kansas City, I'll make that very clear right now. If I'm looking at Texas, I'm looking at them first 5 innings. Because even though Texas normally probably would have a bullpen edge, and a lot of teams obviously have a bullpen edge usually over Kansas City, this Texas bullpen is anything but fresh going into this game. They were worked hard in the Seattle series. A lot of their starters didn't pitch deep in the Seattle series. Remember that game yesterday in Seattle, that matinee getaway game, that was a bullpen game for the Texas Rangers. They started Leclerc as the opener, and then they had a bunch of relievers in after him. So this is not a fresh Texas bullpen. This has been a Texas bullpen that's pitched a lot of innings in recent games. That's definitely a concern I've got with them going into today's game here against Kansas City. But I do like the way Minor's going. You brought it up about the Royals' feeble lineup when it comes to trying to hit against lefties. They've not been good against southpaws this season. They've not been good offensively overall for a few games. Although last night they hit, but they just a little bit, but just didn't get the pitching. But the Kansas City Royals against lefties have struggled. I think Minor's going to hit some turbulence at some point, Jimmy, but I don't know if it's going to be tonight. Here's what I would do, and I actually will be on this. If you have the option first 5 innings to lay a half a run, Texas minus 0.5 runs, minus 120. That's a great bet to look at, in my opinion, in this game. I think Texas can have the lead after 5 innings. Trust Minor to neutralize Kansas City. Trust the Texas lineup to jump ahead of Junis, who I don't trust. Their offense, Texas, is hitting the ball quite well right now in recent games. I think first 5 innings, Texas lay a half a run, minus 120 is something I'm very interested in.
I think that's a great breakdown. And BetOnline hanging a minus 110 on it. Rangers minus a half, first 5. That makes me comfortable. That does make me comfortable. And that's how I'm going to start this off. My first play on this card, God, I've been very hesitant. And I just, but Rangers first 5, minus half, minus 110. Okay, we've got to go. But do you think Benuelos has any chance here? And what do you make of Carlos Carrasco? God, I just don't know what we're going to get from him. Game in and game out. He doesn't like cold. It's only 66 Fahrenheit, so it's not that cold. But, Benuelos is being destroyed. Benuelos, last 4 starts, 2 of them coming against Indians. Last 4 starts, 24 earned runs, 15 innings. The 2 against the Tribe, 10 earned runs, 5 home runs, and 8 in the third. Do the White Sox have... Oh, and by the way, there's been a 17-cent move full game towards the Royals against the Rangers. 17 cents move towards the Royals. Do you feel like the White Sox can do anything here? I mean... There's been a 20-cent move. It opened at minus 210, it's now minus 190. And the total opened at 9. It's down to 8.5. Down to 8.5 with Benuelos on the mound.
You know what it is? It's probably just some opinion that maybe, Cleveland, even though in theory this should be a pitcher they absolutely bash because they've done it before, that they're just sometimes this weird team where big favorites, they don't get the job done. They've had a very spotty track record, Cleveland, in the big favorites role. They've lost so many games over the years, not just this season, but the last couple seasons where they've been huge favorites and they end up finding a way to lose. And there have been situations where they've been facing pitchers like a Manny Benuelos that they should absolutely have success against, and they get shut down. Now Not with this guy, obviously, because he's faced them twice this season. He gave up 5 runs in both of them. He's been terrible. He's been absolutely awful. I'm surprised the White Sox still have him in the rotation. How about the fact he's given up 15 runs in his last 12 innings? That's absolutely horrid. 11 walks in those 12 innings. There's nothing I could say here to make me want to back Manny Banuelos. But again, you're talking about Cleveland that sometimes has these inexplicable situations where they just get shut down by pitchers they shouldn't. Now, Banuelos, they haven't been, but just in general, they face some bad pitching in the past and sometimes been shut down. Carrasco definitely got hit a little bit last start against Tampa Bay, struggled a bit. On the road, he's not been very good. 5.61 ERA for him away from home, which isn't all that great. The White Sox have definitely been able to the White Sox, I should say, have not had very good success, though, in the past against Carrasco. Carrasco pitched a couple of shutouts earlier this season against the White Sox, and he's dominated them. You look at Carrasco against the White Sox, Cleveland is 9-0 in Carrasco's last 9 starts against the White Sox, dating back to April 2017. So it's just been one win after another. So, yeah, it's a one-way game. I wouldn't want Chicago with Banuelos, but even Chicago money line, Chicago run line, I don't know. This team is not the kind of team I rush to lay run lines with. It just isn't. They should, in theory, knock around Banuelos and have a chance to win this game going away. But Cleveland's just not one of those teams I'm ever comfortable laying run lines with. It's just not.
Yeah, I hear that. Poker Addicted 79 said there isn't a worse pitcher going today than Manny Banuelos. Attack him relentlessly with resurgent Indians team and a pitcher that just shut out the White Sox. Yeah, 12 innings he's gone against the White Sox.
Cleveland team total over is the only thing I would consider in this game. Cleveland team total over.
I get that. Angel Romero joining us saying Soccer Play World Cup under 20. Take USA -1 and -185. Thank you for that, Angel Romero, our guy. Also, Taint play today's in Milwaukee. Brewers and Babano thinking about going up against Taint, which is a dangerous thing to do. Babano, what a treat it is to have you on the show. Please soak up every second of being in Canada for this Game 1. I wish I could be up there watching with you. I will be back for the MLB All-Star break, and I hope to hang. I'll definitely come down to Hamilton to hang, have some drinks. Hopefully you can come up to Toronto as well. But could you please tell us where we can find you on Twitter and what shows you have moving forward this week?
Yeah, definitely Twitter at Bobano. Find me on there. We do play of the day videos here for SBR each day. And of course, on the Saturday and Sunday closing line shows, myself with Drew Martin and Ski Profit. It's been mostly NBA, and we'll continue to talk NBA Finals on the Saturday and Sunday show, but we're going to incorporate the other sports now here in the summer months. Baseball. We'll talk a little CFL, maybe talk a little preview NFL college football. Ski's going to probably talk about WNBA because I know he caps that and does well with it. So Saturday and Sunday, 11 a.m., myself, Drew Martin, and Ski Profit on the closing line. Join us for that.
Thank you so much for joining us. What a treat it is to roll with Babano. Thank you guys in the chat. What incredible insights. It's just, I thought I knew that I wasn't coming in with set plays, but I thought I'd find them here, and I haven't. My only play right now is Rangers first 5 -0.5 and -110. There'll be lots more coming on the Late Show, where we will have Anna Merrick breaking down UFC and King Rail and Ski Profit breaking down NBA. I can't wait. Thank you guys so much for joining us. Thank you to our special guest, Babano. Leche, Halos Bookmakers!